Let's not confuse Controversy for a shit game. Which, you know, Cyberpunk's probably good now. But when it released... No, man. And that's another problem with gaming these days. Release half-baked shit. Just fucking kills me, dude. Just kills me. Release half-baked shit, yet still charge you full price, and expect you to interact with the microtransactions via the store. Are you high? You gave me a half-baked product, dog. Like, what is your deal? Future guns and tits, that's all I got from that game. That, Katai, and don't forget the overpowered-ass police officers in the game that just spawn out of the walls and shoot you in the fucking butt cheeks anytime you commit a crime. Nothing like Grand Theft Auto, which is how they marketed the game a little bit. Like, you can get wanted stars, maybe you can even make deals with the police and bribe them so they don't chase you. That was nowhere in the game. It was just like, boom, commit a crime, and then the cops just like spawn up your butthole, and then they just decimate you. And I was just, what? This is stupid. You can't even fight the cop. You can, but good luck. And then the story, the ending, because Cyberpunk has multiple endings. The ending that I got in that game was not good, bro. I was locked away inside this floating fucking fart coffin in space. And to be fair, I did make some stupid ass decisions in the game and didn't really read much dialogue. I was just fucking skip. This is not relevant. Skip. Let me play. Right? And then I did that, and then I think I got a stupid fucking ending. People, like, I streamed it too, and people were telling me in chat, they were like, oh bro, you got like the worst ending in the game. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's fantastic. That's what I get, I suppose. And then it was just like they put me in a fucking hamster wheel of just like bullshit. It was dreadful. Let's see what controversies we have and if I'm aware of them. Let's see. One controversy for sure was the controversy of one that I followed fairly closely was the controversy of Marty O'Donnell suing the fuck out of Bungie and winning too. Felt so good. Actually, it didn't feel so good because the company was essentially being fractured at that point. But they kind of fucked him over, so I was like, fuck it, sue him. Yes, I'm glad you won. I'm glad they lost. Let's see.
Hideo is in Tokyo right now watching the show. So we want you to know, Hideo, that we're thinking of you.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 biggest video game controversies.
And then all of these accounts started being made to yell at me on Twitter, to talk about really disgusting personal details.
Oh no!
For this list,
people on the internet were mean to me. Oh no! I'm sorry.
Looking at the most famous and impactful controversies in the video game industry.
Did I hear that TikTok is getting banned? I've been hearing that TikTok is going to be banned for like the past 5 years. Moonshine. I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it. What is this? No Man's Sky?
If there's a gaming controversy you're scandalized about that didn't make our list, let us know.
Oh, I heard
in the
that game was
comments. Number 10, PSN hack.
Sony has confirmed that hackers broke into its PlayStation network.
Okay, I do know about this one, and we actually watched an entire video on this. I think it was either by the Internet Historian or the Internet Anarchist or another channel that simply just covered it. Yeah, I know about this one. This one happened quite a bit ago. This one happened like early 2008, 2009, I believe. They basically brought Sony to their fucking knees. Damn near.
Exposing the personal information of up to 77 million users worldwide. So what does that mean for anyone who...
And then Sony basically got a slap on the wrist for their incompetence whenever this happened. It was pretty gross.
May have been exposed.
In April of 2011, the PlayStation Network was hacked, resulting in it being shut down for nearly a month. Worse than being locked out, though, was the fact that 77 million users' account data was compromised, the largest data breach in gaming history. Sony delayed notifying users about the breach, leaving people and even governments worldwide up in arms.
Whoever's right, the big fear is that if someone has broken in, they might have accessed the personal data, maybe even credit card details, of tens of millions of PlayStation customers.
Legal actions were taken, and Sony did a lot of work to earn back public trust.
Definitely not a problem for those of you that that use those Xbox or PlayStation Network gift cards, you know, just to get online and stuff like that for like Xbox Live. Because there is no personal information on those, bro. You buy those from the store, and then you scratch the code off the back, and you put the code into the console, and boom, you have access to PSN or Xbox Live. But the majority of people use their credit card information.
Even so, the PSN hack made gamers everywhere aware of how vulnerable their information is.
Be very, very wary about agreeing to store.
Why the hell does this guy look like Sylvester Stallone? My word.
Information on a site.
Number 9. Kojima and Konami split.
I've tried very unsuccessfully to give Hideo the award he rightfully won last year for Metal Gear Solid 5.
Hideo Kojima is one of gaming's few auteur directors. Famous for his work on Metal Gear
He did not look happy there.
Solid, Kojima is by now equally famous for his contentious split with company Konami. While Kojima's perfectionist nature certainly clashed with the company's increasing pursuit of cost-effective content like mobile games, it doesn't excuse anything they...
Oh, okay. I got it. So he was trying to give the gamers what they wanted, and the publisher, which I'm assuming is Konami, they were like, no, microtransactions, no, DLCs, no, pre-orders, no. Everything that sucks about gaming, we're gonna do that. And he's like, this is fucking stupid. No, bro. No, I can see that. Yep.
Did to him.
It's he's still under an employment contract, and it's disappointing, and it's inconceivable to me that an artist like Hideo would not be allowed to come here and celebrate with his peers.
Not only was Kojima's connection to his final Metal Gear game with the company removed, but he was separated from his employees during development.
Look at him. Look at the look on his face. He's like, why the fuck am I even here? I shouldn't even came to this shit. It's fucking stupid. I'm the smartest guy in the goddamn room, and I have all these suits telling me how to make a fucking video game. Hell nah. I'm out.
For 6 months, and his developers were demoted and effectively blacklisted. Kojima leaving and making his own studio only makes sense when you consider how poorly treated he and his employees were. Konami may still be making a profit.
That's what happened. That's what happened to a lot of the original developers of Call of Duty. They got sick of fucking Activision shit, so they made their own studio, Respawn Entertainment.
But their reputation may never...
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
...cover.
We miss you. We hope to see you at the Game Awards 2016.
That's fine.
Number 8. #Gamergate.
Like, make really disgusting sexual comments, and it's the first thing you lose is all perspective.
Originating as a reaction to a sex scandal in 2014 involving developer Zoe Quinn, #Gamergate soon spiraled out of control. While some supporters were concerned about the ethics in gaming journalism raised by the scandal, the impromptu campaign largely became synonymous with harassment and a reaction against the rise of social justice issues and feminism in video games.
You naughty little angels deserve a good spanking.
Wait, so... Let me watch more. I'm kind of confused on this one.
Quinn and many other women involved in the gaming industry have been doxxed or otherwise harassed, both online and in person. While the gaming industry itself has made steps to be more inclusive in the years since Gamergate's inception, harassment still persists, and the tactics used by those involved have been used in other online movements.
I have a folder on my desktop called Those Who Left, and every time somebody sends me a message saying like, hey, I really admire your strength, but it's not worth it for me, I'm leaving.
Number 7. False advertising.
I don't really know what that one's about. It said something about a sex tape or something like that. Please don't tell me y'all were being whores and then the internet found out that y'all were being whores and started calling you whores, and then you got mad because the internet was calling you whores. Please don't tell me that's the case, because my word, maybe it's not. I don't know too much about that one or what's happening, but you're on the internet, and on top of that, you're on the internet with gamers, and on top of that, you're on the internet with gamers, and the majority of gamers are men and or teenage boys and or young male adults. What do you expect? I'm just saying.
advertising and unfulfilled promises.
What did this say? Number 7, false advertising and unfulfilled promises. This isn't so much a controversy, more so as it is the status quo now in gaming. False advertising and unfulfilled promises. That's pretty much what gaming has been for quite some time now, actually. And I think that it happened with the... I think this started to become more prominent with the introduction of next-gen consoles. I mean, yeah, sure, maybe you had a couple games in there that fit the bill back in the Xbox 360, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 days. However, once you got into the Xbox One next-gen, Xbox One S next-gen, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, that's pretty much all it's been. I want to say since like 2010, man, 2010. Between 2008 and on, I feel. I don't really feel like I played too many games that were unfulfilled and false advertisement prior to 2010. But after 2010, bro, I can give you a laundry list of games that were falsely advertised and definitely unfulfilled and incomplete. I'm fucking retarded. Incomplete.
False advertising and unfulfilled promises.
Oh, Aliens, Colonial Marines. I saw Angry Joe do a reaction to this. This was on his this game was actually on his top 10 worst games of the year list. He makes that video every year, and it's great.
Don't always get what you pay for, as any customer will
Watch
tell you.
Dogs.
However, over the last...
Watch Dogs. This game came out with the Xbox One. I remember because I got this game and Titanfall with the bundle of the Xbox One whenever I transitioned to next gen. Whenever next gen was becoming a thing, like, hey, no more 360. It's going to be the Xbox One, blah, 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 all that stuff.
Few decades, gamers have felt burned out by video games that don't live up to promises made by developers before release. No Man's Sky promised features that weren't available at launch. Cyberpunk 2077 downplayed technical problems so much that it received lawsuits.
It was shit.
And it often feels like every other trailer played at E3 has a good chance of looking much better than the final game. Consumers are used to products like food looking better in ads, but talking of games to
like, you know what's so funny, bro? The game, I mentioned this game a couple of days ago, but the game Anthem. Did you guys know the game Anthem, that whenever they played the trailer at E3, there was no game? There was no game. Whenever they played the trailer for Anthem at E3, the developers of Anthem didn't even know what the game was. They had no idea what they were making until they saw the trailer and they were like, oh, that's what we're making? Gotcha. Cool. We'll get started right now. Even though they had 8 fucking years to make the game. 8. I don't know what they did in all that time. Just finger popping their own assholes. I don't know what they were doing, but that's exactly what happened and it was embarrassing.
Better than they are feels straight up dishonest. Number 6, Xbox One's terrible launch.
Ugh. Remember the Kinect that came with the Xbox One? Jesus Christ. What a fucking travesty that was. Xbox One on. Xbox turn off. Fucking Xbox record that. It was so shit. That's all it did, I think.
Whatever you think of the console now, Xbox One had a pretty awful start. Along with its confusing name, Xbox One's pre-launch suffered many controversies. Its first presentation focused on multimedia capabilities instead of games.
Yeah.
This one here is just one of the new, amazing Xbox One exclusives you're about to hear a lot more about.
Yeah, we fucked with the UI and made it stupid.
You can also see I was listening to some music by Deadmau5 and watching a movie.
It was going to require users to use Kinect and always be online. players would also be forbidden from playing used games. And while Microsoft naturally backpedaled heavily after the backlash these planned features received, enough that people nicknamed it the Xbox 180, players still had to contend with a huge day one patch to even use the console.
Yeah.
But it was worth it to play the new games.
Ooh, that game was bad. Ghost.
At least that's what the YouTubers who were paid to praise them told us.
This partnership between Machinima and Microsoft was a typical marketing partnership to promote Xbox One in December.
Number 5. Mass Effect sex scenes.
Remember these words when doubt
I never played Mass Effect, so I got no input on this.
descends, Commander.
Thanks, I guess.
It may surprise anyone who has played Mass Effect or knows anything at all about the games, but the first entry in the franchise was the subject of controversy for its love scenes. Fox News took a widely inaccurate article by a conservative blogger and painted the game as if it was a highly graphic harem simulator. In reality, the love scenes in the series are briefly and rarely explicit.
So let's talk about who the video game is for. It might be for adults, but if you look at the statistics, who is playing video games but adolescent males, not their dads?
Fox and the blogger...
That's a fucking lie, but you kind of just seem triggered because there's characters in the game that are probably getting laid a lot more than you. Look at your face. You're just mad you're not getting dick down. Sorry, lady, fuck off. Goddamn Fox News, CNN, all these mainstream fuckers that know nothing. Stop it.
Were roundly criticized by gamers for their wrong takes on the series, but the controversy is unfortunately symptomatic of mainstream media's frequent inability to do their homework on video games.
Close your eyes and relax, Commander.
Number 4. Crunch.
I felt trapped. And I didn't even have a chance, any time at all, to look for another job or to, I had no choice but to just power through.
While it shares its name with a delicious candy bar, crunch in the gaming industry is far less appetizing.
What is this?
Another word for compulsory overtime by game developers, crunch has been a growing problem in the industry. While some defend that crunch can lead to games being completed in a timely manner and with sufficient quality, others point to the poor working conditions for developers in general, and how games like Cyberpunk 2077 end up buggy messes despite crunch conditions.
Suggested solution, none.
Treating employees like their machines is always problematic.
I got it.
The gaming industry is no exception.
I mean, what kind of strain did that put on you and your family and your relationship with your wife?
My wife is a saint and she was extremely patient, but of course it was very difficult. And
I can't imagine how hard it was to be a game developer whenever COVID happened. Couldn't go to the office, had to do everything from fucking home. It already takes a long time to push a patch. It already takes a long time to make anything happen unless your game is in beta. Because then you don't really have to go through certain loopholes and you don't really have to jump through certain hoops just to push a patch. With beta, you can just fucking push it at will. That's how Fortnite got away with pushing as much shit as they did weekly. Because the game was in beta. I think it still is in beta. You don't have to do all of the overarching bullshit that is required to push a patch or a change or something of that nature, and then you couple that with working from home, it just takes even longer, and like the time is just tripled to do just about anything, especially if you're developing on an outdated engine.
she kept telling me this is not right and this is not normal.
Number 3, E3 accidentally doxes attendees.
Gaming's biggest week with the best wall-to-wall live coverage. All the press events, including the reveal of Project Scorpio from Xbox.
How do you get doxed?
E3 is the biggest convention in gaming, where fans, journalists, and developers gather to present and discuss the latest upcoming games, consoles, and content. However, the 2019 E3 proved disastrous on some of its attendees' personal lives.
We didn't need all this tension, damn it.
The website for the Entertainment Software Association, which runs E3, accidentally posted a public link with contact information on over 2,000 of the people who attended the event. Game journalists, YouTubers, and other visitors' information became publicly available, despite attempts to take it down. While few hostile actions were taken as a result, it's still a bad look to carelessly leak your guests' contact info for the world to see.
Why do you even have to give this kind of information just to get into E3? Buying a ticket and then you go, right? I don't understand. How does that even... Why do they even require this kind of information? You know, people probably bought their tickets online with credit cards and blah, blah, blah. I'm more of a cash kind of guy, but... Jesus, why is that even required? Astro, what's going on, man?
Okay.
Number 2, Battlefront 2's loot
Oh,
boxes.
shit.
The target is Protectorate Gleb, a local official who once mentored both Agent Hask and myself. I don't know how this connects to Operation Cinder, but
I played this game. Subpar. Very subpar. But you know what wasn't subpar? The fucking store. The store.
I have to trust the Admiral.
Star Wars Battlefront 2, the 2017 one, not the 2005 one, has proven to be one of the most controversial games of the 21st century so far. This is thanks to its microtransactions in the form of loot boxes. As well as being criticized for being a form of pay-to-win content, the loot boxes drew
Not just pay to win, bro. It's fucking gambling, man, is what it is. It's gambling.
controversy worldwide
call it what it
and
is.
led to multiple countries' governments examining if they constitute gambling.
Yes,
This
it is.
not our mission.
And what was it that they called it? They called it, oh my god, they used the dumbest fucking word and tried to act like we were stupid. They said, oh, no, it's not gambling. It's surprise mechanics. Get the fuck out, bro. No, bro, it's gambling. Stop it.
Oh, they totally do, by the way. While EA removed the loot boxes from the game and has made more steps to improve Battlefront 2, the impact of the debacle on the gaming industry and EA's stock price.
And yes, it was pay to win. It absolutely was pay to win. Do you know how long it would have taken you to get Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker in this game? Bro, it would have taken you, like, without using the store, without using microtransactions, without using loot boxes, to get Darth Vader or Palpatine or Skywalker or Yoda or any of that stuff, it would have taken you years. Bro, somebody did the math. Years. Or you could pay thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars and just get it right now. It was absolutely pay to win, and that shit was fucking stupid.
Is still substantial.
They're just gonna toss us in Sunspot Prison before we can even say a word.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them.
The most fun thing to me, in my opinion, of Battlefront 2 was the space battles with all the TIE fighters and all that stuff where you could just fly, and it was a combination of bots and real players. That was really, really fun. I had a good time with that. But as far as everything else, it was just... and it was made by DICE, too. I just don't know why they just didn't take Battlefield 4 and just slap a fucking Star Wars paint job on it. I feel like that would have been more fun. But no, instead it was this.
If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Mortal Kombat's violence creates the ESRB.
Oh, yeah. I played this game, and I was too young to even... I was too young to know or realize or care about any of the stuff that he's about to talk about, but other people were, I suppose. Too violent, it's too graphic, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, bro, it's pixelated to fucking back. And not to mention, this is great. But people complaining probably weren't gamers. You ever notice how, like, the people that complain about shit like this don't even play video games? It's funny.
During the 1990s, video games started becoming more realistic. Mortal Kombat may look cartoonish by modern standards, but the violence on display was shocking at the time. The United States government held hearings on violent video games, with Mortal Kombat being a prominent example.
Shame on people that produce that trash.
This resulted in the creation of the Entertainment Software Rating Board, which assigns ratings to games in North America,
ESRB, or ERSB, whatever the fuck,
and also spurred the creation of similar organizations in other countries. Mortal Kombat basically instituted a board whose decisions on who should be buying which games have proven as controversial as the game itself. Whether you think its ratings are too lax or too strict, if we had to rate who's been upset by the ESRB, we'd go with E for everyone.
This game was fire when I played it.
In the mood for more awesome gaming content?
And my mom saw me play this game too, and didn't say a fucking thing about it. And I feel that I have to say that I was heavily monitored as a kid. Like, everything I did, everything I watched, everything I touched was heavily monitored as a kid. I was pretty much kept under a fucking rock when it came to stuff like this. Yet when it came to video games, my parents were the kind of parents that were just like, it's just a fucking video game. It's not like he's watching actual people kill each other, right? There was quite a few movies that I was not allowed to watch. There was quite a few TV shows that I was not allowed to watch. But when it came to video games, my parents just kind of were just like, whatever, bro. It's just a fucking video game. But how bad could it actually be? This just wasn't really a thing. So, but yeah, I was heavily monitored as a kid. But when it came to these kinds of games, it was just like they looked at it, and I don't know, they just used their brain, and they were just like, oh, it's a fake person fighting against another fake person that's not real nor grounded in reality. Just gonna let him play it. That's it. Really. So. And what was the difference between Mortal Kombat and setting shit on fire or Spyro? Remember Spyro? You go in there and fucking kill shit, set shit on fire, breathe fire and stuff like that. I mean, you're still ending a life. Whether it be a digital one, a fake one, a science fiction one, you're still ending a life, right? So what the like? It was just, yeah. However, I do say all that about like ratings and stuff like that, but I feel ratings are kind of important, just a little bit. We don't need. One thing a lot of people don't realize is that it's not just kids that play these games. It's adults. Man, it's a hobby for everybody, and for some people it's even a job. Games like Grand Theft Auto should absolutely 100% have a rating, but there's other games that, you know, just like kind of fall into that gray area, like doesn't really need one, shit like that. But